You got to scooch in.
Oh, all right.
That's how I get people close to me. So anyway, Thomas is like, I will repel you with my odor de hobo. That's a new cologne that Thomas is trying out.
Mary, man,
Yeah, they have a clothing line too.
It's,
apparently. Here, hold up your shirt.
Dollar store only.
That's nice. So, all right, here's the Redux on the okay, Aspect Warriors. I still love them.
Awesome. They're just too expensive. That's the only problem.
Yeah, well, but you know what? People always gripe about, oh, this army's good, that army's not good. Well, guess what? People are doing different types of armies out there.
Well, and you have to also argue that as the game changes, as they bring out new codexes, the older ones obviously aren't as good as the newer ones.
Right. Like, what's hot? Okay, what's the weakness of what's hot? You know, but you're talking about the tournament scene, and which has no relevance to me. I've sworn off of, I haven't gone to a tournament in like 7 years. Because I've had. The last time I went to a tournament, I'm pretty sure it was in California. Yeah. And I only went to them on the off chance that I won Best Painted. Which, for a lot of the tournaments at the time, was painted at all.
That's actually still true now.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed outside of a big convention.
Oh, okay. Because I only see Adepticon. I don't even go to the local ones.
Yeah, pretty much all the local ones. Well, and that's the reason that I brought what I brought, because that's what I have that's painted.
Oh, yeah, and in case you missed that earlier, Thomas isn't some kind of knuckle-brain tournament dweller who, you know, he's out for the kill. He brought what he, yeah. I tried to make, I got nothing. I couldn't make anything of that. Okay, so, all right, so who's out of your army list, which is a pretty strong list.
It is pretty.
It's pretty aggressive. Like, I'm on the objectives. Now what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you gotta.
It's a pretty tough nut to crack. And those Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators.
They are the best. They are the best buy for the points. I really don't care what anyone says. They're the best elite choice in the regular Space Marine Codex, and they are. I mean, Stern Guard are a close second, but points for points, usually the Thunderhammernators will either break more or absorb more damage.
It's the 3-up invulnerable save that they have.
Yeah.
It's just like, like the Fire Dragons just couldn't kill him. Oh, sorry, I saved all of those. Yeah, that'll do it. So, yeah. But I did enjoy playing this army, and that's the big thing.
Well,
and quite frankly, the Dark Reapers are all right. If I were seriously going to do the Aspect Warrior list, I would get rid of the Hornets, obviously, and I would do
huge points.
I would do the Dark Reapers.
Dark Reapers are really, really good.
But I had no problem being in range of stuff. There wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a disadvantage that I couldn't get anywhere fast.
Right.
It was fine. You know. I mean, assuming your opponent wasn't some kind of gunline army, I guess.
Well, if I had been, for instance, Tau Gunline, would I have been able to get as many objective points? I mean,
that's true. I would have been the one up on the objectives.
Right, which is just fine if you're with the amount of cover on the table.
Putting the Swooping Hawks in Deep Strike was not to my advantage. I would have done way more because they have haywire grenades. First turn, I could have been on the Land Raider. For example.
That would have been great.
I would have written off the Swooping Hawks to get rid of the Land Raider on that first almighty turn because they can jump, fleet, and charge.
Yeah, that's great. Almost 20.
And haywire grenades are not bad. So it's just one of those things where people aren't playing it, so you don't really see good players in a competitive environment trying new things. But you do see, and it's a compliment to Games Workshop's like book writing skills, that you see a lot of different lists coming out
right on
top.
Right. Yeah, everything.
What's that? Dark Eldar Orcs.
Orcs was still really great this year to DEFCON. And it's getting to be an older codex now. I mean, it was the one that came out right before Space Marines. Right. Dark Eldar, there weren't very many people this year. I expect there to be a lot more people next year.
Well, it takes time.
Right. It always takes that.
It's like at BTP, I'm like 4 to 8 weeks. That's plenty of time to get the whole thing together.
Right.
you know. Yeah, Mike's laughing. It's like, not usually. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, not at all. So there's lots of different options. I mean, Space Wolves is not the most recent codex, and it's amazing, you know.
Right. It seems new to me.
Well,
Seems like
okay.
it's been out, what, a year and a half?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what, two, three codexes now since it came out?
Yeah, I
Or
don't
was
know.
it-
That's older. Well, I guess they're only doing 3 a year, you know. Is it
Right.
3 a year? Is it 3 books a year?
2 or 3 a year. I mean, we
So
have
what's
Flying
coming
Wolves.
out later this year? Necrons.
Probably Necrons.
That's
yeah.
the big one. No, it is Necrons.
And they- I've
The
heard-
the rumor wave is too strong for it not to be Necrons.
Right. I've heard something about maybe at least a halfway, like a White Dwarf codex for Sisters of Battle.
Oh, yeah.
To give
Yeah,
them
I've heard
to give
that
them
one
something
too.
because they're.
And then
GW's
what's
not ready
coming
to
out
print
in
it.
March? What was the March one? It was,
I thought it was supposed to be Sisters of Battle, but if it's not,
no,
then it might be
March
Tau.
next year? Tau. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Tau, Codex, it's gonna, think of all the Forge World stuff they have for
They do have
starters.
a lot of beautiful miniatures there.
And, oh, yeah, they already have a huge line of figures. So, well, that's the beauty of casual play, is that you really you can pick more of a fun army, you know. And this was my first army, was Foot Aspect Warriors, because that's what Eldar had. You know, if you wanted a Viper, you had to use a deodorant bottle, you know. And that was serious. That was in the White Dwarf when I was playing Eldar. It was like, look, we made a Viper out of, believe it or not, a deodorant thing. It's like, oh, that's great. Armpit hairs, not any extra. No extra charge. Oh, fumble. It's, and then when I went to a retailer's convention in, what was it, 98, they just came out with the Falcon kit. Like that was a new, and that was something you couldn't play in the Eldar because they didn't have the kit. It was the old Armor Cast Wave Serpent that looked kind of like a Raider, where it had like a prow and the energy beam thing, and Armor Cast is making these big old resin chunks of, like in the old Eldar art of the Wave Serpent, looked like a boat, kind of. So funny how those things progress.
Much better
Yeah.
looking now.
So my very first army, I did, it was like $55, and I bought like 30 Aspect Warriors, and I glued them together, primed them with black enamel, painted them with Testor's enamels, and like a fingernail polish brush, you know, because that's what some guy gave me. He's like, oh, look at these gold things, and I have like a little eyeliner swab type thing that you would put like, oh yeah, it was that terrible. Like I didn't know what an acrylic paint was, but that's how I started. And I painted my Swooping Hawk wings. They were a rainbow. And so Craft World Skittles is my first. I laugh. I mock people that do Craft World Skittles, but that was my first thing. It was a red, white, and blue,
Mockery from love, right?
ivory, yellow. It had every color in it. Oh, so bad. So humiliating. And my first game, I just got taken to the cleaners because imagine playing someone that's never played before.
Right.
You'd be like, I move here, I block you there, I do this, I pin these guys, I shoot those guys, I come on straight in my fire here, I outflank you. He was doing all of those things, and I just pitifully got killed. Hideously.
That's a tough one when you do that.
It is,
Sort
and
of.
I'm doing Dark Eldar. That's the thing. Yeah, and it's features 9 Venoms.
That's
Yay!
gross anti-infantry right there.
Yeah, each one fires 12 shots a turn.
36-inch range.
Yep. So what's 9 times 12? Yeah, 108.
108, yeah.
Yeah, 108 shots just from the Venoms. Never mind, what is it? An open top, all the guys inside can shoot?
Yeah, and then if you add splinter racks, they get to reroll the hit.
Which is fantastic.
I mean, if you really play that way, you can make those. I mean, they're easy to blow up vehicles, but they can also be nasty.
What's one of those things where, okay, great, it's easy to do, like rhinos, you know. Oh, they're only armor 11. Yeah, but there's 4 of them. You know, you just,
Right. Well, Dark Eldar.
So many threats.
Dark Eldar have the Night Shields, which means your range is reduced by 6, which is, I mean, that really changed. That changed the way that I play the game, because I had to go from having an army that had primarily 24-inch range to actually bringing
Right.
las cannons again and bringing
Right.
stuff that could reach out and get that stuff, because otherwise he's just gonna some dark elo player just gonna be like, oh, I'm over here with my dark lances
Yep.
and my venoms. My dark lances blow your tanks up, and then the venoms shoot down all the infantry that get out, and you're never within
Yeah.
range.
And there's a guy with a blaster on there.
Yeah,
So there's that too.
yeah.
That effectively becomes a weaponry on the thing. Oh yeah, it's obscene. It's obscene. Oh yeah, so 6 guys on there, 1 guy with a blaster, so 5 splinter rifles, right? So you move up and you get to fire the 12 shots, and then you get 10 splinter rifle things. 9 of those running around the board, by the way. Oh, and the ones with the Trueborn have 4 blasters in them.
Gross.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, I picked a power list off of the net. What a noob. It's pathetic. Because I can't think of my own list. There you go.
Well, I expect that if we play again and you have that, it would be a different game.
Well, I'm going to try it. But don't underestimate my incompetence. Okay? Because, yeah. You are the worst co-host ever.
I'm
No, I'm
sorry.
totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. I put something out there and it's like, nope, he's not going to save me.
I did give you.
It's like, I'm a total noob.
I did give it an eyebrow. I was like, you'll get to see it when you
No,
watch
that's
the video.
good. Yeah, that's good. So people are like, oh, you're picking on poor Thomas. All right, whatever.
It's payback, right? Some revenge for my guys picking on yours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got taken to the cleaners. The cleaners is where I just got back from. All right. Mike's like, I'm not turning off the camera, because he knows. It's like throwing rice down in front of a vampire. You know, he has, oh, now I have to pick all this rice up. Damn you. Darn you kids. As long as that red light is on, I will keep talking. I can't stop. Can you please turn it off so I can stop talking?